Volunteers. Thank you so much for joining me on this show. I'm going to talk about the Gators of Florida at the Volunteers of Tennessee. 3:30 Eastern Standard on, I think, CBS. If you're new here and don't know me, I'm Bobby Dirkens. I'm Bobby Ulysses Dirkens. And I'm glad you're here. If you hadn't heard of me, your life has been greatly enriched. Just want to let y'all know that I put on this little sissy mic right here because people said they couldn't hear me good. Can y'all hear me good? Can I get some thumbs up? Hey, not that finger, the thumb. Well, I'm going to dive right into this. Tennessee Volunteers has had some of the worst luck. See, in my younger years, I remember when Tennessee was a pain in the butt to deal with. If you had to play them, unless you were Florida, you had a bad day coming your way. You had Peyton Mannings, and what's odd is he ain't the one who won the national championship. It's T. Martin. Can you get that? That's crazy, ain't it? Well, after the years of Philip Fulmer, I'm trying to remember the succession of coaches. Was it Lane or was it Derek next? I can't remember. Either way, it wasn't good. And then Butch Jones and the wasted talent of that, 2015, 2016 season. I've never seen so much talent in my life wasted. I mean, Georgia's wasted it. Auburn's wasted it. LSU's even wasted it. But, I mean, they did a good job of wasting a bunch of talent. Then they went on and they got rid of him. And then they started firing people inside because they couldn't agree with who the next coach was going to be. They got Jeremy Pruitt down there from Bama. That didn't go good. And then they finally got Josh Heupel, which had a lot of people scratching their heads. Who knew that this was not a bad move? Finally. Last year they did seemingly a lot better than what people expected. Of course, they had their down moments, like blowing it in the bowl game. I know it was a small bowl game, but for a first-year coach. But this year, these boys have been playing. Now, am I saying that Tennessee's back, like Sam Ehlinger with Texas that year? We're back! Oh. Proving why headache medicine was originally made. That and booze. I'm just saying that this will be the next best move for them. This year, Lord, they've been looking good. It's kind of like your fat aunt who used to be a homecoming queen. And everybody talked about how, she's a good-looking woman and all this bunch of stuff. And then just one day, she became a friend of the Twinkie. And she blew up like someone hooked an air balloon to her rump. And then suddenly, she decided she was going to have an affair on her husband. And she went and she started working out. And she left her husband, left her family, and now she looks great like she used to. Because we all know that the quickest way to see if a woman is actually having an affair on you is if she starts looking good after she's been married for about 15 years. Just like out of nowhere, if she starts working out, she cares what her teeth looks like, and she doesn't wear, you did get me, and you ain't wearing, out of style makeup, suddenly you're like Miss Stylish, you're cheating on your husband. Because you didn't care enough for him, but you care for somebody else. That is what I look at Tennessee like. Tennessee, listen to me, Tennessee has the chance tomorrow to put on some new makeup. Tennessee tomorrow has the chance to shed some pounds, namely a Gator. Now, listen to me. If they win this game tomorrow, I ain't telling you they're back and they're going to beat Bama. Kentucky looks like a pain in the tail. Just ask Florida. But I am telling you, this is the chance of a lifetime for them to shed this unwanted weight, just like that woman who is now cheating on her husband, and that's the reason she looks a lot better, is because now they care for somebody else. The past is now the past. Got some people in Henderson sisters in here. Saw Parker Henderson last night. May there but I'm gonna get that just Christopher Lane. You said upstate white snake. May there to you. Sean D. Tiger Cat. May there to you. Got Parker and Chase, the Henderson sisters in. Roger Bryant. You said, well, Notre Dame beat North Carolina Tar Heels. I hope so. I don't know. That's a mess. We've got Tiger 2 deep in here. Tennessee by 10. Chase Henderson. You're the only 10 I see. May that. You got me again. Lord, I ain't even going there. I saw Parker last night. We went to the Coastal game. I took Bobby Dirkens Jr. down there because he wanted to see Coastal play Georgia State. It's in that old Atlanta Braves stadium, the one they had the Olympics in. And when you think about that, wasn't that old of a stadium, considering how a lot of these stadiums are really old. But I think after so many people got mangled and illegally touched over there, they moved it. They're like, we can't keep doing it over here. It's sad when the homeless and the people work in the parking garage. You really can't tell the difference between them. And also, I showed Parker a picture of my wife last night. He had never seen a picture of my wife. Lovely woman. Lovely. Precious woman. Actually, it wasn't a picture of my wife. It was some old woman. And we had fun with that one. But Chase had to go to a visitation for someone who passed away. He did that instead of spending time with me and Bobby Dirkens Jr. and his beloved brother. Like you're decent or something. Ah, we did miss him. Hop back into Tennessee here. Here's what I'm going to tell you about Tennessee. If Tennessee loses this game, does this mean that the season's over? No, but it doesn't look good. I think the gut punch is way too much. Wonton was her name. And I'm just telling you that Florida, now here's another thing. Florida wins this game tomorrow. I still believe that their season is going to continue to take a dump. But I don't think that it's going to be as bad as if they lose. If Florida loses tomorrow, it's going to be really bad for them for the rest of the season. It's going to be as bad as for that man who finds out that his wife, who started caring after not caring as in Karen, I'm just saying caring, not caring. Caring, not caring. Who knows? I don't care. She is not getting all nice and fixed up and, fit and stuff for him. Like she's drinking them green shakes and stuff. The only time before she met, this new guy named Bubba or something, he owns a record service, very successful. Anytime she would drink something green is maybe if they dyed chocolate milk green every now and again. Now she's, eating stuff like arugula. Ish. And kale. And, you never know her. But he finds out she ain't getting all dolled up for him. Lord, no. It's for Bubba. That's about how Florida's going to feel if they lose this game tomorrow. They're going to figure out that yet again they did not make the right coaching hire. I'm not sold on Napier, y'all. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you this. Dan Mullen made more sense. Now, he didn't end up being, I know, that made sense. Michael Wayne did not make sense. Okay? That did not make sense. Did not make sense. Urban Meyer made sense, but that just didn't make sense. And I love it. It's so funny. That Richardson kid last year, I remember them showing videos of him on the sideline cutting backflips. And it's like, what an athlete, Don. I'm sitting there going, I didn't know we were doing gymnastics here. I thought we were playing football. I got a little niece. That young, she can tumble backwards, flip forwards, do a triple clutch or whatever they call it. All over the place. She even pisses on herself at times. Still. Why? It doesn't. She's little. And she's tumbling in the go and can't spell worth of crap. Oh, he's cutting backflips. And I know it's supposed to prove that he is athletically superior. I'm just telling you. You got to have more than athleticism. Okay? You have to get more than athleticism. You have to have a brain. There's a lot of people, they're really good athletes, got into college football or they got into the big leagues. You found out there was nothing in between their ears. Nothing. Nothing. The only thing between their ears was how great they were, and then somebody who spent a lot of time becoming incredible too. But they knew that they had to be smart too, just not athletic. Went out there and tore their head off. That's what I'm seeing with this. You remember when Kyle Trask was there? You remember when he was there? Came in there, gave them some of the best seasons they've had of recent, and all they could do was talk about Emory Jones. You wait till Emory Jones. You wait till Emory Jones gets in here. Him and his dreadlocks flowing from the back of his helmet. He looks like an athlete. Boy, we can get this Trask guy out of the way, who's winning for us and getting us somewhere. If we can get him out of the way, boy, we'll really be... I don't care what year you're watching college football. I am telling you, this is the same stupid story. Might be by different people, but it's the same mindset every time. Look, if you got somebody who is winning, you better hug yourself around their legs like a toddler hugging their daddy going out the door to go to work. I am telling, or begging for a toy in the toy store. You better lock on to them. You better go and see if the NCAA will give them more eligibility. You better do anything. Offer them coupons. Will you stay if I gave you? I'm just telling you, this is ridiculous. It's annoying. Getting here and answer some questions. I'll say this before I get to the question, because I'm going to cut this video off in just a second. I think if Tennessee goes out there and just plays ball, forgets it's Florida on the other side, and just goes out there and plays ball, they win this ball game. The way that Tennessee loses this ball game, one of two ways. They let their emotions get all up in their head. And we all know that, emotions is the worst thing that ever happened to a human being. Okay? Emotions is, let me tell you right now, you can get some girl who's been doing well for herself, but she can go fall in love with some boy who's got one tooth in the front of his head, and that's all the teeth that he has. He has nothing, but for some reason she thinks that he's incredible, he's wonderful, when in fact he's dumber than a used oil rag. And then in 10 years, once she bore him children, one morning she wakes up and she goes, God, he's got one tooth in his head. Her emotions got her so much, she can't even think straight. That's what will happen to Tennessee. If that happens, they lose. Or they come out there and a bunch of injuries happen. Okay? That's your two things. Tennessee comes out and just plays football and just treats them as another football team. They forget history. Remember that it is history. Those same players that beat them all those other times. And throughout these years, many, many years, a lot of them are not there. Of course, from players from last year. Okay, duh. But I'm saying, get all that other stuff out of you. You win the ball game. If you Florida, you go out there, you're like, look, we hate that Kentucky beat us. Kentucky is a good football team. I agree with Henderson's history. They're a good football team. I'm shocked that they're legitimately a good football team. I remember so many years where, if you said Kentucky equals win if you're playing them. But they're a good football team. And I agree with you, Parker. They might beat Georgia this year. Maybe. That's a tall order, but it's a different game. I I am just saying here, Florida, both these teams needs this game for different reasons. They do. Tennessee needs this one to get over a hump for some reason they can't get over. They can upset other teams, but they can't beat this one. They need to get over this hump, and that will get Heupel going where he really wants to go. You check the box. It's kind of like when Clemson won 10 games, won the ACC championship. It's like boom and boom. It's been done. What's next? That's the thing for Heupel. Beat Florida and move forward. Florida, you lose this ball game because you come out there and you think we own Tennessee. You kind of get there, get cocky, get juking and gyrating, and you get beaten in Knoxville. Just telling you. Just telling you. That's all I'm telling you. They beat you. All right? They will beat you. And they might beat you worse than 10 points. And then your program might start really taking the nosedive. You'll be calling Dan Mullen up going, you remember what we said last year? Psych. We're kidding. I'm just telling you. Of course they won't do that. But I'm just saying that's how bad it will be. And Napier will be out in a few years, and everybody will remember it. I just don't know that hire was good. I think I wouldn't want to have to take over that job right now, even if I was him. But don't worry, they're paying him a lot of money. He and his family are good. No cheese line for them. I call Tennessee wins this game. I think it will be a slugfest. I would think it will be an emotional game. I call Tennessee not a 10-point win. I call a 3-point win because of the motion of it. I'm looking somewhere in the area 27-24-ish. I think Clemson. I did another video on them. Y'all forgive me. I talk about them all the time. I'm sorry. It was a Freudian slip. Is that what they call it? My grandma used to wear a slip. Said she didn't want to look like a loose woman in the church when the sunlight hit her dress. And then she named out a few women who they were quite easy. And they didn't wear slips. Anyway. Florida, I think Florida's going to lose this game. And y'all mark my word, it's going to go down. It's going to go down. It's not going to be good for them. Tennessee could really take off, do some really, really good things. Well, look, I'm Bobby Dirkens. Love me or hate me, I'm here. You cut me, I cut you back. Yeah, you thought I was going to say bleed. No. I'll get that knife out. I clean out my toes and slice my tomatoes with, and do some slice work on you. You know, instead of like Zorro and the Z, it's BD. Bobby Dirkens, you keep showing up, I'll keep showing up. Bobby Dirkens.